Welcome back to the Agriland Pavilion here, and I'm with a lady that doesn't need any introduction. It's McHugh, who this year is celebrating 50 years as MD of the National Ploughing Association. May, is it not time for a rest?
No, I don't rest. I'm passionate about the ploughing, and that's why I love working with it. Time doesn't matter. If it means working late, I will do it, or if it means getting up very early in the morning, I will do it. Because I have grown along with the ploughing, and I have witnessed it growing, and we added so many different competitions to it, like the fashion show, the bread baking, the hunt chase, the pony games, the livestock. We have added all that to make it an event for all members of the family, and we have a playground for the children, and we have a carnival event. So all of them add to all members of the family. And then we have the Government of Ireland here, and they have all their different departments. But in addition to that, we have Enterprise Ireland, who has been now celebrating 10 years with the National Ploughing. And Enterprise Ireland have 10 countries, including Sweden, Australia, New Zealand, Finland, Denmark, Germany, just to mention a few. And it was interesting yesterday evening when I was in the Enterprise office that I met the Chinese delegation of 5, and one of the men there was telling me that he has a herd of cows of 12,000 cows.
Wow.
So he's looking at dairy equipment here. We have a lot of dairy equipment on exhibit. I think everything that's needed for the dairy sector is here at the ploughing today and tomorrow and the next day.
So you're 70 years with the association, isn't that right, this year?
Yes, almost.
Why do you think it's still such a big day in the calendar for farm families to come to the National Ploughing Championships?
Well, they make it their annual holiday, and no sooner is the event over this year when people will be saying, where is your venue for next year? What are the dates? I know that we're clashing with Listowel races, but Listowel is clashing with us.
Yeah.
And we always give Listowel our long before the events, we always give them our dates. Our dates don't change. It's Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, the third week of September. It's going to remain that way, because we would find if you had a late harvest, and there were late harvests this year, that the land that we work on would not be ready. Like I had a few ladies in last year and they said, why in the name of God do you not have this in the summertime?
Yeah.
But they didn't realise the land has to be ready for the competitors.
And that is a really important element, isn't it, still? Even though it's got so much bigger, as you said, ploughing is still at the heart of the championship.
Ploughing is very much the heart of it, because in every county in Ireland, and even for Northern Ireland too, we have competitors. There's over about 353 competitors taking part in all the various classes. And what I'm particularly pleased about this year is we have novice competitions for the boys and girls under, well, they're 16 and 17. Once they get their licence to drive, it's fine, and they'll get into the ploughing. But we have to encourage the youth, because they're the people that we're going to depend on. And let me say there, while I'm speaking about the youth, it's absolutely, to me, remarkable today that there are so many young people here in attendance. And President O'Higgins, he referred to that in his speech.
And we've seen a lot of them out and about, haven't we? We've a lot of schools here today. We've a lot of different kind of schools from all over the country.
Oh yes, we've a lot of colleges. They're from all over. And the one place they want to go to, they want to see the livestock first, and then they're off to see the other, the innovation arena, which is very interesting. The Laois County Council are here, and they're promoting everything that you can buy in Laois. And we have the county enterprise boards here with an entry from every county. Every county in Ireland has an entry in. They qualify from their own respective counties to have an entry in this.
And do you think that's part of the magic of the championships?
Well, I think it is. It's up to us to create an interest for everybody, every member of the family, not just rural people, but urban people. We'd have a big contingent from cities and towns. We had, just in our office the other day, we had a man that had driven all the way from County Down because he was a bus driver, and he had tours coming. The Donegal people would leave about 4:30 every morning. They would be coming with buses. And that makes the event, and it creates the atmosphere. Because you must have the attendance, no matter what the weather is.
Yeah,
you must have the attendance.
We haven't been so lucky with the first day so far.
Yes, so far.
But maybe the next couple of days are going to be a bit brighter.
Well, it looks a bit brighter, but what I felt about today, there was no cold out. It was actually quite warm and clammy and that. But people seem to enjoy themselves.
And we're expecting the same figures over the next 3 days, aren't we?
Oh, we are, of course. We are, yes. And I think Thursday will be a very big day as well, Thursday is always a day when people are nearly packing up, but I think Thursday is going to be very big
and this
day.
year, of course, we have the ticket sales online,
yes.
which have made it easier for some people to be able to
And
book
it's the way we
ahead.
have to go. We're obliged to go that way in the interest of health and safety. And my one wish, and the wish of our association, would be that everybody that comes here comes and they arrive safely and they arrive home safely. That's, we must adhere strictly to the regulations laid down to us, and that's why we have tickets online.
Yeah.
It would be very sad to hear of an accident either coming or going to the ploughing.
Yeah.
You know.
So you've a lot of ministers, you have a lot of government officials, you have a lot of key organisations, all the farming organisations, and you're the woman that brings it all together. How does that feel?
Well, yeah, and we had 7 ambassadors as well today, but it feels wonderful that, and that was said there by the President, that you're bringing people together. We claim to be the biggest agricultural outdoor event in Europe, but it brings all classes of people together, and it brings a lot of farming people together too, because they exchange their views and they learn from one another, and they make it their annual holiday. They're hoping that harvest will be over, although it's not over yet now because of the bad weather we had. But they would be hoping that everything would be done at home and they could come and relax for a few days. And they forget their worries for a few days, yes.
And also, it's been a very difficult year for farmers this year. We've had a lot of issues around the weather, and it's been we've got issues around costs of production. So for them coming to the championship, as you say, it's just a break, isn't it?
It's just a break from really work and the reality. It's a break from reality back home. But look, the Government of Ireland have a huge area here. They've all their different departments, and they've been saying all the time, people with queries to ask, they should be in there face to face in the departments today, asking the questions, and to get maybe some enlightenment on something that's worrying them back home. Because really, if a farm is not making a profit, how can they survive?
Sure.
You know, and land is very valuable, and it has to produce.
And there has been a bit of a scramble. We've seen that for land
there
this
is,
year.
with derogation and
I
all the
suppose you've
different
seen
things.
this around your home area too.
Yeah, we farm at home now, and we can see it. And the cost of production, that's the killer. The cost of producing grain today, with the cost of fertilizers and all of that, is huge. But you have to get the return. The prices have to be better for both beef and grain. And of course, I know that the dairy people were doing very well, but now the milk price has dropped considerably over the last month. Considerably. And it's all right to say you have 100 cows or 150 cows, but they have to be fed for 5 and 6 months over the winter period, and the cost of feed is very high. So
you're actually giving farmers an opportunity to say directly to policymakers and to government what's impacting on them.
Oh yes, and the farming people have an opportunity today, and I'm no doubt that IFA will be heard over and over again. And I know that there have been at meetings and conferences and everything with the Minister McHugh, and they're asking him for can this all be reopened again? But I don't know I don't think that will happen. But at least they can put their problems that they're enduring now on the farmers back home. Yeah. And he had a very difficult brief. Yeah. The Minister for Agriculture always had, and it's very hard to please everybody. Yeah. But at least talk to them. I think it's very important that they get around the table and talk. Yeah. Yeah. And I always say it is lovely to be able to have meetings, the Zoom meetings, but during COVID. But there's nothing like, for me anyway, my vintage, face to face, and you solve your problems. And that's the only way. Sit around the table, discuss them, go out and think, what best can we serve the farmer? Yeah. And mind you, the farmer is the backbone of this country. Yeah. It's a huge job for you, though. You've been up very early this morning, haven't you? And you just keep going for the 3 days. I keep going for the 3 days, and then and if I may go to Friday of this week, we have our tractors and ploughs being loaded for the World Ploughing in Lafayette, which is the 13th and 14th of October. And our 2 competitors who qualified from last year, John Whelan of Wexford and Eamon Tracy from Carlow, are our 2 competitors. And I will be going out later in a week following that, because I'm a chairperson of the Scrutineers Committee, and I am the Irish board member on the World Board. Okay. And when you look around today, what do you enjoy most? I enjoy looking at people that's enjoying themselves, if you like, and I enjoy whatever we have done so far today with the President, and I thought it was wonderful to have President O'Higgins here, because he has had an operation there earlier in the summer, and he had missed some of the football and the hurling All Irelands and the RDS, the show, the horse show. And it was wonderful for him to be here with us today.
Yeah.
And he gave a lovely address. But he has not missed a national ploughing since he was inaugurated as president.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what has changed really, like primarily, what do you see as the biggest changes here?
Well, I see the biggest change is the way that the exhibitors, the way the presenter stands. Now, I know the weather wasn't with us, but you can see stands there that are absolutely lovely. And the amount of effort that they put into a good presentation, you know, and that's important. I remember going back years ago when we had only 25 trade stands.
Okay.
And then it went up that we had cars exhibiting and we had plant coming and a different element of forestry, you know. And, you know, every year there was always something new and an increase in trade stands. When they saw that other people were coming, they felt it worthwhile to be there. And some exhibitors will tell you we can't afford not to come, even though it does cost them quite a bit of money to be here. Yeah.
And do you still enjoy it? Do you still look forward to it every year?
I love it. But I don't sleep for about a week beforehand.
Really?
I don't. And I'm anxious. I'm anxious about everyone. You know, I love to see people enjoying themselves and that everything is comfortable for them. Now, we have a wonderful number of security. We've volunteers from every county. Our association is made up of a director from every county, and then they have parish and county ploughing matches where they qualify to be here, but we have all volunteers from them, and they're here at...
And do you have families that come back every year?
Oh yes, we have families coming back, and we have a good few marriages where they met
really? No way, really?
Absolutely.
Are you a matchmaker too, as well as everything else?
But where they met at the ploughing match, and you'll often hear that. So we met somewhere, such a place, at such a ploughing match, yes.
Really?
Yeah, really, and that's true now. And it's lovely to hear that.
Have you ever been at any of those weddings?
No, but I have been at weddings, a lot of weddings where their families were getting married and they were associated with the ploughing.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And tell me, is this the last year that we'll be here on this site?
Now that's a 6 marker now, because I can't say that. We have to clean up this place first and make it presentable for next year, if we're coming next year. But look, we have other sites in mind. Now, whether it will be going there or not, I really
But you
can't
do tend to move around.
Oh, yes.
It has moved around too. Because it's a huge economic boost for the area.
It is. But it is a huge economic, and it's worth 65 million to the economy, really. But when you speak about other sites, it's nice to change around too, you know, because the people in other counties love to have it. They would write in and say, we'd love to have the ploughing. We think we have suitable land and enough of land. Will you come and inspect it and that, you know? And it's nice. Rathnetic is very central, but we have to concentrate on Kildare, Carlow, Kilkenny, Laois, and Tullamore to Offaly. You know, you can't. We'd love to be going to Donegal, because Donegal is a very good. They're a very good ploughing association. They've great members, very strong members. But you know, it's too far for transport. We'd love to be down in Kerry, another great county for sending volunteers. And well, but we have to think of the centre of Ireland for the ploughing. There's no way we can get away from that.
Anna May McHugh, Managing Director of the National Ploughing Association, and without a doubt the National Queen of Ploughing in Ireland. Thank you very much for joining us here in Agriland.
And thank you very much for having Agriland talk to me. So we're delighted to have you here as exhibitors.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.